कितले जाणार सोशल डिस्टन्सिंग
Yeah. We welcome all of you for this press briefing. We have our new in charge, Sri Dinesh Gundurao ji, who has been newly appointed as in charge of Tamil Nadu, Pondicherry, and Goa. He was supposed to schedule, but due to COVID, he couldn't come and he cancelled his earlier visit. So now he was on his 2-day visit to Goa. He's come up from the cadre, who has worked at the grassroots level, who worked at the district level, and then he was appointed as the State Youth Congress President. And from State Youth Congress President, he was elevated to the working president of Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. Then he worked as a full-fledged president. Then he was promoted as in charge of these 3 key states which are going for the elections. So we are fortunate that our new in charge is coming from grassroots level, understand the organization very well, and have a vast experience in the electoral politics. More than 20 years is continuously getting elected as a MLA, and is playing a very key and important role as far as Karnataka politics is concerned. And amongst us we have our CLP leader, Mr. Digambar Kamath. We have our State Vice President NK Sheikh. We have both the district presidents, Mr. Joe Dias and Mr. Vijay Vike. And we have our General Secretary, who is always briefing you, Mr. Amarnath Patel. So, over to Dinesh.
Goa Pradesh Congress President, my friend Shri Girish ji, and our CLP leader, Shri Digambar Kamath ji, and all the other party functionaries, and all my press friends from the Goa media. First of all, I would like to say that it is an honor for me that Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji and Shri Rahul ji have given me this opportunity as in charge of Goa, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, and I take great pride in the fact that I have been chosen as in charge of this wonderful state. So I'm very happy to be here. And so briefly, like what Girish ji said, I was supposed to come last month 28th, 29th. But since I was also corona positive, so I had to delay by some 25, 27 days, 25 days. So as soon as I recovered, and as soon as the doctors advised me that you can travel, I fixed up. I told our president that I'll come to Goa and let us interact with all our local leaders. So since yesterday, I have interacted with our Pradesh Congress Committee office bearers, maintaining the social distancing norms and everything we put on for big meetings. So we had small groups, and with each group I interacted and heard out their views, gave out my views, and we had a very good deliberation yesterday. Along with that, I met our district presidents and their committees, senior members of their committee today, and also all our block presidents. So the basic functionaries of the Congress party, that is the PCC, the DCC and the block. So till the block president level, I have had an initial interaction. Plus all our senior leaders, all the MLAs of the Congress party, all came and met me today. Shri Pratap Singh Rane ji, Shri Rajendra Federavu ji, Mr. Ravi Naik, Mr. Sardinia, then Mr. Reginald, of course Mr. Digambar Kamath has been there as a CLP leader since yesterday. He's been there throughout in all the meetings. So all of them came in, along with them Mr. Ramakant Khalap, some ex-MLAs, they also met me. And I had also discussions with some of our wings of the party, Mahila Congress, then our social media and Youth Congress. So I have had some initial deliberations with them. So it's been a good starting point, I think, because I also have to understand the pulse of what our party workers are thinking. And one feedback that I definitely do have is that the present situation, the Goan BJP government has absolutely failed the people of Goa on all fronts, whether in response to the COVID situation, whether in response to the problems of the people, giving a good administration, giving a clean administration. This government has totally failed, and the Chief Minister of Goa has not been able to exercise his authority, and ministers in this government are coming one single agenda, that is to loot and scoot. That is their own one-point program. So, it is very unfortunate that Goa has got this kind of a government. We should have actually formed the government. Mandate was for Congress in the last general election. But we saw how political maneuvering and selfish, self-serving politicians for the sake of power on one side betrayed us, and on second, the BJP, like they've been doing throughout the country, have become experts at bribing, become experts at blackmailing, have become experts at destabilizing and using any illegal mean to form the government. Karnataka, they've done the same thing. Karnataka, we have the most corrupt government we have ever seen under Mr. Yediyurappa now. We've seen what they've done in Madhya Pradesh. We saw what they tried in Rajasthan, in Goa, in northeastern states. Everywhere, wherever you go, Maharashtra they were trying. So they want to grab power by any means. All their talk about dharma and principles is all just total lies. Their mission is by hook or crook grab power, tell people any number of lies, and propagate in such a way that people believe those lies, use sentiment. They're not talking today, nobody talks in the BJP about development, about programs, about what policies, nothing, because they have failed on all fronts in front of the country today. The last 6 years we have seen the economy crumbling. In the last 6 years we have seen this country being ripped apart, social unrest against Dalit and women, what is happening? Farmers are agitating, our borders are being threatened, our foreign policy has collapsed, we have become a friendless nation in our own neighborhood. So he's failed on every front, BJP has failed on every front. But what do they use? Simply all emotional issues, trying to, use religion and nationalism for their political benefit for votes. And they are also in many ways threatening and subjugating all wings of the country today. All the constitutional authorities, whether it is the courts, whether it is the CBI, whether it is ED, whether it is IT or the various other institutions that the country has got, everything has been being compromised. In fact, even media also is being compromised. Many independent media voices are being threatened. Somebody writes against them, they are also worried that where will this government come after us. Opposition parties are being threatened. Every day you will see ED attacking on opposition parties. They are raiding them, CBI raids them, ED raids them, IT issues notice. Tell me the last 6 years, not even one BJP leader has the income tax or ED issued a notice. One. So many governments have been toppled. So much of hundreds of crores of rupees have been spent in toppling governments. You mean to say IT, ED do not know what is happening. CBI does not know what is happening. So, this is open, this is no more a democracy. This is being run by oligarchs, by big capitalists in collusion with the Prime Minister they are running this country for to profit, using the resource of this country, using our human resource, our natural resource. Few people are profiteering, using the Prime Minister's good office. It has become a private limited one small group. So this is a disastrous situation. So this is what Congress has to fight. And in Goa also, like I said earlier, same thing is happening. You know what is happening on the coal port front, what is happening on various other issues. So this is complete sellout, and Congress is taking up many programs. So few things I want to just tell you before I can take any questions. One is that we have decided that we will strengthen our booth committees. That is the number one agenda in front of us. So by November 30th, all the booths, we have instructed our block Congress presidents or district Congress presidents or Pradesh Congress office bearers to go and see that in every booth, at least 10 members are identified, and we have a booth president and members in the booth. So we have given a deadline by November 30th, all of this should be completed. And in the month of December, we will be having training programs for our booth presidents so that we gear them up. One is political management, one is what are the issues that the country and Goa is facing, and preparing for the electoral battle coming in the month of, in the year 2022 in February. So all these things will be having a training program for our booth presidents. So that will be done. And also our Pradesh Congress committee also, we will planning to reorganize the committee, because we need to see that it becomes more effective. So the committee, the office bearers, we will reorganize. And wherever we find that our functionaries are not working actively enough, we will try to rejuvenate those wings, whether it is Mahila Congress, Youth Congress, NSUI, Block Committee, District Committee, wherever it is there, where we feel that it is that there is some lack of work, or they're not implementing the programs and not taking up people's issues, then we will also look at them and try to push them into working properly, because we want everyone to be functioning at their best and to see and they're functioning effectively. So these are the things that we will be doing. Along with that, series of programs are going to be done. On 31st for Indraji's and Sardar Patel's Indraji's death anniversary and Sardar Patel's birth anniversary, we are having a Kisan Adhikar Divas program. So that will be held in two places in Goa. One is in Mapusa and then the other is in Margao. Right? Margao and Mapusa on 31st of October, where the Kisan Adhikar Divas program will be held regarding farmers' issues, which today in the country, what we are facing. Like I said earlier, again sending out to the private sector. That is what the APMCs have to shut down, government market yards have to shut down, private sector has to take over. That is something which Congress is completely against. And then on the 5th of November, we will be having what is happening on Mahila and Dalits, the atrocities, where openly the BJP government, BJP leaders are supporting those people who have committed atrocities, and those people who have suffered, they are being harassed. Whether it is in Hathras, whether it is in so many other cases, we saw even in earlier cases in Unnao, in Kathua, how BJP leaders have gone in open public rallies supporting rapists, and because they belong to a certain community. So, and how they have targeted women and Dalits. So that program will be held on the 5th of November. I think the GPCC will issue the detailed program list to you. So that will be done in Azad Maidan, highlighting those issues of the women and Dalit atrocities being committed openly, without fear by so many people, all being supported by the Bharatiya Janata Party and their allied organizations like the RSS and Sangh Parivar. Then we have on the November 8th, we will be having a tractor rally in Mandre, Bicholim to Mandre. We will be having a tractor rally demanding though Goa is not so much of an agricultural agrarian state, it is not so much because it's more of service sector, tourism, and mining and service. These are the main focus. But even then, entire country we are doing these programs, and to support the farmers' issue, Goa Pradesh Congress Committee will take out a tractor rally on the 8th of November from Bikolim to Mandre, demanding that the central government should repeal the 3 anti-farmer agrarian bills, the bills that they have, what has been passed unconstitutionally in the Rajya Sabha. We saw how the Rajya Sabha deputy chairman, how he handled the Rajya Sabha that night. It was complete murder of democracy. But they are not bothered. They switch off the cameras, they say what they want, they suspend whom they want, they throw out whom they want. They wanted the bill to be passed. And I think all of you witnessed that. So that will be on November 8th. And on November 14th, Sri Nehruji's birthday, because Nehruji was one of the persons who built the foundation of this country. Unfortunately, the propaganda of BJP and Sangh Parivar is to defame Nehruji. And without Nehruji's contribution, his base which he laid for this country, he unified the country. Even Goa is a beneficiary of Nehruji's vision. So many others, Hyderabad and Kashmir. Why did Kashmir come to India? Because of the presence of Nehruji. Sheikh Abdullah said, if not for Nehru, I do not have trust that I will get due equality, due justice in this country. So having faith in Nehru, I'm willing to join the Indian Union. That kind of, these are the great things that he has done. And public sector units all across, HAL, NAL, HMT, BHEL, BML, dams, power, how much, all these things were his contribution. And he laid the democratic foundations for this country, which has lasted till today. Today we are, the anti-Nehruvian ideology is taking this country towards fascism, towards dictatorship. So 14th of November will be that program, so which will be called Speak Up for Public Sector Units. And then of course we are nationwide we are doing a signature campaign for this anti-farmer bills. So I think Goa has already started to launch that campaign, and by the end of the month, they've our target is to reach around 40 to 50,000 signatories to protest against this farmers bill, which will be sent to Delhi, and from there the All India Congress President and our leaders will be meeting the President of India and approaching him with this minimum of 2 crore signatures from throughout the country, demanding that these bills have to be not to be signed and they should be repealed. So that is the program which is the AICC function, AICC program. So these are, I mean, quite a few programs that the Congress, the PCC has to do. So I would say that Congress has got a vote good support in Goa. Last time we were the single largest party. We had the highest vote share. So looking at the situation now, I am very confident that if all of us, we work together as a team, work with unity, and go to the people, we're going to be taking up people's issues, people's problems, issues which concern the real, issues of livelihood, lives of the people. There is no doubt in my mind that we will have absolute majority in the next election, and Congress can form a government in Goa. So with that mission in mind, we will be implementing many programs, reorganizing, restructuring, rejuvenating, and building the party and taking our workers into confidence, giving them all training and also responsibilities. And I am very confident that we will be able to, with all the support of our senior leaders, many former chief ministers, many ex MLAs, ex-ministers, with all their support, I'm sure that we will be able to do very well. And it will be a matter of pride for me that as in charge, that I can establish a Congress government in Goa. So that is my initial statements. If anybody wants to ask me any question, you can ask me.
There is a burning issue in Goa about the doubling of the railway track. So you are the MP Sardin has opposed for the doubling of that. So what will be the role now Congress? How
No, Congress, I think Congress President and Congress CFP leader and many of our leaders have very clearly said that this is not what Goa wants. This is not for the development of Goa. It's got nothing to do for the Goan state. In fact, it is going to cause a lot of problems for the state. It will create a lot of problems for the environment. So these are things which are not required for the state. So they very clearly said that this is a sellout to help a particular company. For that one company to make lots more money, this is being done. So I think the Goa Chief Minister is helpless. I don't know whether he is in support or in his favor. I'm not sure personally, because any person from Goa should not be supporting this. Why the Chief Minister of Goa is supporting this? Obviously because there must be pressure from Mr. Modi. Because obviously Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi are the best of friends. So what can the Goa Chief Minister do? He is also helpless.
How you see the port have been getting privatized, or maybe any two ports are being privatized?
Exactly, I am saying everything. Airports are being privatized. Airports are being privatized. You name it. Even retail is being privatized. Everything is being privatized to the benefit of who? Trains are being privatized. Ultimately, Mr. Modi is selling out everything to 2-3 people in this country. That's all. So it's a very open. Shri Rahul Gandhi ji has told right from day one. Why did the Rafael offset deal go to Mr. Anil Ambani, who is a bankrupt person? Why should a company why should he get 30,000 crore rupees offset contract when he is literally bankrupt? So it is very open. Who was Mr. Mehul Choksi? He was very close to Mr. Modi. Who was Mr. Nirav Modi? Very close to Mr. Modi. All these people are looted and scooted, and these people are being built up, and it's very unfortunate that this is happening to our country. So we will oppose this fully. We are going to, already we have opposed it. We will take it up in a bigger way. And this is a people's issue, and this issue which concerns the development and security of Goa.
So what will be the stand out of?
Will you have a pre-poll alliance with parties like Goa Forward and MGP?
See, my vision is very simple. In every district, in every block, in every booth, Congress should be strong. And we are a party which got the single largest votes last time. So we will strengthen the party in all 40 constituencies.
So no pre-poll alliance.
When we are strong on our own, and when we are taking up people's issues, and other parties have compromised themselves to for their personal gains, how can we align with such people? We can't align with people who have compromised themselves.
What type of feedback you got from your MLA since you have met them first time?
No, each one, see, that's a personal interaction. So they have given their
No, as
opinions.
far as strategy of assembly post.
Strategy is something that is, see, strategy is something which I cannot reveal. No, that's the strategy. But they have given their inputs, and they have given me their what all they feel needs to be done. All of them are very senior leaders who have been MLAs, and most of them have been chief ministers. So definitely all their opinions will be taken into will be given due weightage. And finally, we will all sit down, consult, discuss. We will have some brainstorming in the days to come. We will think about what is the way forward, and find common, a proper plan, a roadmap, and we will go by that. So I can't just say that now because we still have to brainstorm and evolve the strategy even more. But few things are simple. We are strong on our own. We will fight on our own, and we will strengthen the party organization so that at the booth level we are strong.
So
and we will take up the people's issues.
What will be your stand on the MLAs who have already left the party? Because many times they leave and they come during election for asking for tickets.
And they are getting the ticket also.
About a disqualification which has been already filed by the president.
He's asking this, okay, so, see, we have filed a disqualification case against these MLAs. Because they are still our MLAs. Holding our symbol, if they go to another party and join, morally they are wrong. If they had any morality, they should have resigned and then gone. So morally and ethically, it shows how bankrupt they are. That is one point. So, second point is, the District Congress Committees and the Pradesh Congress Committee has already passed a resolution saying that we should not have any truck with them. So when they have taken a decision, when the local party organization has taken a decision, I think that is very clear. I don't think I need to add anything more to that. When the party workers and party leaders and the state, our district and block and PCC feel that we should not have any truck with these people, then I think that is the stand of the Congress party.
So,
Sir, what about your stand on Madayi River? Because most of the farmers are dependent on the Madayi water in Goa. So Karnataka is almost diverted river. So what is your
See,
stand?
now, these are all
What
very,
is Congress stand?
these are all very sensitive and important issues which concerns 3 states. All 3 states have gone in front of the tribunal. Tribunal has passed an award. All 3 have gone back to the tribunal. Also, we have filed in the Supreme Court also.
All 3 states.
All these have gone to Supreme Court. So this is now a matter which will be decided in the tribunal and in the Supreme Court. So I think whatever they decide, it's a sub judice issue now. Whatever is decided, it is after that. Once a decision comes only, can there be a further opinion on this?
So Congress will not going to do any agitation to put a pressure on the government, especially
See,
on Sawan.
I am just saying this is a sub judice matter,
Yes.
and each state will fight for its rights. Like Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, we have Kaveri water dispute. So Karnataka fights for its right in Karnataka, for Karnataka. Tamil Nadu will fight for Tamil Nadu, irrespective of political parties. Could be organizations, farmers organizations. All like that, each state will have its own issues. Ultimately, it's a duty of each state to fight for its rights and for justice. Ultimately, in a democracy, there is finally some arbitrator. Either the Prime Minister intervenes and settles the matter, because he is the arbitrator where he can call all the chief ministers, sit down and discuss with them and come to some settlement. Because if you remember, when Andhra and Tamil Nadu and Karnataka for Telugu, for drinking water to Chennai, Srimati Indira Gandhi settled the matter between these 3 states, and where Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, then Andhra, gave 5 TMC water to Chennai because for drinking water. So that settlement which was done amicably, mutually. So either he should do it, which he did not do for whatever reason. Now it is in front of the courts. So in this country, the final arbitration is in the Supreme Court.
but we talk about the courts, but still illegalities go on. Do you agree on that?
See, anything is there, it is a matter in front of the court. If it's something illegal, how can anyone agree on it? Nobody can agree on it.
So there will be no agitation by the Congress party.
No, each state will do its duty, no?
No, I'm talking about
Like I
Goa.
said, Goa will fight for Goan rights, right? That is the right thing to do. Similarly, Karnataka will fight for its right. Tamil Nadu will fight for its right. I cannot say, go to Tamil Nadu and say, Tamil Nadu Congress people don't fight for Tamil Nadu rights. I can't say that. Neither can Tamil Nadu person come to Karnataka and tell Karnataka Congress don't fight for your rights. That is a duty of everyone to fight for their rights. Ultimate decision, like I said, is in front of the court.
But
They
where
will
does,
decide.
where does the Congress party stands on this issue?
That they've already, I think, Goa Pradesh.
No, as a,
I am not I am here to strengthen the party organization. I am not come here to take decisions on behalf of the Pradesh Congress Committee. And whatever the Pradesh Congress Committee does here will be for the interest of the people of Goa, and they have every right to do it. So there is no 2 ways about that. There is the CLP leader will comment on that. The GPCC president will comment on that.
Okay, one more issue.
Okay.
Sir, I
Sir,
have a question.
BJP
Yeah, yeah.
Electrical, you know that electoral malpractice is a very huge issue. How are you going to deal with it?
Electoral malpractice, you mean EVMs or
It's a worldwide
electoral funding?
phenomenon. Electoral malpractice,
No, you're talking about electoral funding,
not
Or-
funding, malpractice.
malpractice EVMs
Yes,
or?
yes, because of the technology which is.
Yeah,
coming
see
in.
now that is something which is being, already we were represented in front of the election commission, we've gone there. So, those are technical issues. I do not know whether it can be manipulated or not, I do not know. But those are technical issues that has to be, I do not have any very specific view on that.
Okay.
Though I have a very specific view on the electoral funding, because the electoral bonds which BJP has issued, which may have made it a law today, it is more to remove transparency of party funding. Today nobody knows who is giving money to whom, because it's all a secret today. BJP is getting hundreds and hundreds, more than thousands of crores. But unfortunately for this country, what Mr. Modi has done is, he's made a law which tells you that you cannot know how much money each party has given, so each party has received from which, who are the people? We do not know who's funding the BJP today, who's funding Congress, who's funding NCP, who's funding, nobody, you cannot come to know. To tomorrow, even if a drug baron is funding money to the BJP, we won't know. Some foreign funds are coming into BJP, we don't know. So, electoral bond issue is one of the most corrupt, blatantly legislation made to support corruption is electoral bond. And who's done this? BJP. They have killed RTI, they have made Lokpal a dummy. Lokpal was such a huge issue, Lokpal nobody even talks about today. RTI is more or less, they are weakening, there is no information commission is appointed. Then you have this electoral bond, which you don't know who's getting from whom, from where, who's giving. So, there is the question now, and PM Care fund, what is it fund for? For, supposedly to fight against this pandemic. Now that information, why can't the government of India give? My question is, why the secrecy? What is the problem? I do not understand this.
Okay,
Sir,
sir, I just want to ask
go-
one thing is that, see, since you, even Girish comes from the youth movement,
Yeah.
there's always saying that your Congress party youths are always there on the roll and all, or with their agitations, with your issues and all. But suddenly when the elections comes, tickets are given to somebody else. So when your youth or somebody has spoken to, how has been the discussion? Is it like this time youth will be given tickets?
Discussion is much, not at this stage. Right now our focus is on, like I said, on the booth level, party organization has to be built up. Our programs for the strengthening of the party we are going to take, we restructure the organization and take up people's issues. These are the focus areas now. Who is to be a candidate, all that will come, that is the next step.
But there is
First, let
also-
us make the party more vibrant, more strong. They are working well, they are active, and they are taking up many issues. So we will further, increase that.
Sir,
Okay.
when you say party organization, the Girish Chodunk has given resignation a long time back. It has been not accepted by the High Command. So,
And political party is saying that other political that he is on borrowed time. So what do you have to say on that?
No, first of all, what is the relevance of another political party person to talk about our party? Who is he?
They say that it is-
Who is he to talk about our party president?
they say
So
that-
he has got no basis to talk about our party president. He has got no connection to our party. Why should he talk about our party?
okay, as a party, what about his resignation?
See, resignation he had given. Now the resignation has not been accepted. So he is already functioning, he is working. So the resignation has not been accepted.
So the reason must be there for some. No, you are not
Such a
getting
long
any
time,
new
a
president.
resignation can be kept on hold like this.
It's not hold, it's been rejected. See,
Rejected.
when there is no response to nobody says your resignation has been rejected. He's been told, I'm in charge, he's been told that his resignation is not accepted. He has to strengthen and do the work.
So once and all for it is clear.
Yeah.
Sir, just now you mentioned that CLP leader and PCC president stand on mother, whatever they take. Are you agree with that stand?
See, I am saying is, in the interest of Goa, the Goa Congress will work. I can't tell the Goa Congress to work in the interest of Maharashtra, no.
Yeah,
I can't tell the Goa Congress to work in the interest of Karnataka, no. And we won't do drama like how Parikar writes a letter to leader of opposition in Yediyurappa. We don't do that drama. To help elections in Karnataka, your chief minister does some drama. If he had serious intentions, he should have written to our chief minister. So see, we should not fool the people.
So, but
I'm not coming here to fool the people. We should tell the truth.
Goa Congress might be working in the interest of the state, but sometimes there have been certain instructions which come from the center, no sir?
No. These are
Then-
all
then
issues.
what happens?
Like I said,
This has been the play game
see,
every now and
I'll
then.
tell you what it is. If it's in front of the tribunal and Supreme Court, it is sub judice. Who can play now? Nobody can play. They will decide. If I feel there could have been another mechanism. Other mechanism could have been Prime Minister calling everybody and resolving the problem if he had the capacity to do it. He didn't do it, no.
Okay, 1.5 years is left for elections. Goa. Would the Congress party be announcing their tickets well before in advance?
See, like I said, I don't want to talk about elections, candidates, all those issues now. I have told you about our stand regarding people who were selected by us, elected by our voters, and who defected. I have told you what our stand is.
But they are ready to come back, this is what you heard.
I told you what our stand is. That is very clear. Second thing is I have told you is that we will concentrate on all 40 seats.
So
I don't think I can be more clear than that.
So what will be your stand on mining?
See, mining is now there are two things here. Mining is a genuine commercial activity. The problem comes when there is illegal mining or when there is deviations in that. So today, just because there is a problem, doesn't mean you close down everything. You have a proper mechanism. Our leader Ravalji also has said that mining, with a proper framework, legal framework, it should be allowed. It's a question of life, livelihoods, jobs, incomes, employment. So you can't shut down industry like that, no. But you should have proper mechanism to see that no illegality takes place, no exploitation takes place. That is the responsibility of the government. If the government does not have the capacity to prevent illegality, that means it's a weak government. If a government says, oh, if you open up mining, they start illegal work, then why allow? There's so many things which are happening. You shut down everything then because you don't have the capacity. You're accepting that you don't have the capacity. Legitimate activity should be allowed.
In Maharashtra, you all have a coalition government.
Yeah.
Mahaagadi.
Any more? It
Sir,
does
sir,
nothing,
that's
no?
right. And,
It's becoming you and me now, conversation.
and in Goa, the same NCP gives an issue-based outside support to the BJP. Let me finish. So, would the Congress party go along with NCP in Goa?
Oh, see, I'm just telling you already, no. Here, on all 40 seats, Congress is going to get ready. Congress will strengthen in all the 40 constituencies.
Regional issue has been solved.
Regional issue
Regional issue has been solved.
because there is an issue. We had heard that there was
Okay,
an
last
issue with
thing
the
I'll say.
president and him.
We've had discussion. One is discipline in the party is very important. Whatever issues are there, if they have any problems, it should be discussed in-house. Now, earlier, whatever it has happened, I will not want to comment further. But in future, we have to maintain some discipline in the party.
Okay.
So any issues should be discussed in-house. Otherwise, if you're breaking the discipline, then I think that cannot be tolerated.
Is it a warning?
Huh?
Is it a warning?
No, I'm just saying that it is not good for any organization.
Huh.
Party line is party line. I'm here, any issues are there, they can tell me, I will try to sort it out.
Correct.
But going to the public and saying things will not be in good taste, and I hope that nobody does that. I'm not talking about any one person here. I'm talking generally that nobody should do that. And we will be looking at discipline also as one of the important part of are strengthening the party organization. That is also a very important part.
So if no discipline, no ticket.
Getting a part.
See, now I don't want to go to tickets and constituencies right now. We will come to that later.
Thank you so much.